That first championship. This could be the beginning. Maybe the beginning of a dynasty, man. I don't even know if we've seen the best of this team, and it's crazy to say that with how good they've been here, but could this be it? London Knocks Hardpoint here in the grand final. Rise Nation looking to shut down this Cinderella run for Red Reserve.
On board with Looney. Gets stunned off the start. That's a great job by Josh to get lower control. There we go, Red Reserve. Doing a pretty solid break off. They're going to get control, but Gunless is there to respond.
Alright, so Red now in the hard point, just seeing what time they can pick up here. A nice setup to get time here in the hard point. A nice setup to really rotate into next as well. And look how far they're pushing up right now. Just want to be careful they don't get anyone to spawn from behind. They've got them pinned all the way back right now.
I think the big difference already is they're starting to win some gunfights. That was the thing in Capture the Flag, even that first hard point. Looney breaks on through, so does Gunless.
And sometimes, you know, in CTF, obviously you get, you know, a third to or half of the gunfights you're going to get in something like a hard point. You've got more of an opportunity now to get into a groove. Can Red Reserve find that groove and push this to a map 5?
Yeah, Zero and Rated need to step up here for Red Reserve. Those are two guys. Those are the star players. We got some heroics from Joe and Josh. Can the other two step it up? 3 go down. A nice nade from TJ, but Josh is pushed up towards his gate.
This has been an incredible start. Joe gets 2, Rated finishes 1 as well. And this is just a fantastic start, 40-7 right now. Still a ton of time here on Main Street. Josh down, driving back to watch the back push. Trying just to stay alive. He's got help here at Zero. This has been flawless. There's still one more player here. Gunfight to Zero.
Well, my method's gonna get them off that time. There's a spawn. Spawn's right next to him. Zero cleans it up. A perfect start for Red Reserve. However, we're going to lower docks. We know how important lower docks and barrels has been for this map. Teams have gotten better and better at. Let's go over to Joe. He's on a 5 spree right now. 1 kill away from a fighter pilot. That would definitely help them out.
Can he bait anything here to try and pick up these streaks?
To the window.
He's gonna go ahead and use Josh in front. One lines up, but TJ actually gets both. Shuts down Josh and Joe. He wants none of the bait and switch to get in streaks.
And that was a huge play out of TJ. And if you're Red Reserve, you want to break here. Don't allow Rise back into this one. Zero, though, going to get taken down by Looney. A solid hold so far for Rise.
Man. Can Red Reserve get this break? He has Looney. 5 and 8. So you got to expect him to start picking it up with the way he's been playing. And you already have that number 1 on the minimap. It's already TJ kind of rotating top, making sure he's set up for the next push.
His methods have streaks already. He's on a 5 spree. That was in the hill. 10 points away. You have 1 player on Red Reserve going to start going towards barrels, but he gets spotted. That was by Gunless. There's the trade from Looney. 2 go down, and Red, they're going to spawn all the way out. Just as I said, lower docks and this barrel building has been so important. But Rated, he breaks on in. Able to find 2. This will allow them to get to the front, but there's those streaks.
Method's trying to hold the side with this bar. You see it on X-Ray, the flurry of players trying to push over top mid from Red, and they just keep running into the wall of this Rise Nation. Just trying to wall bang here through barrels. You can see when they're starting to push in. Sometimes you can pick players through this. Red trying to do a good job at least contesting, and now Joe able to find a couple of kills, and now the onslaught in from Red Reserve. Unfortunately, Gunless still there. He'll tack on a couple of kills. TJ should be able to trade it out. If you're Red, you've at least done a really good job contesting, right? You haven't been able to rack up too much time if you're Rise Nation, and we've already got over 90 seconds off the play clock, and this is a 66-66 game.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried, though. You can see gunfights starting to go the way of Rise Nation. The game opening was great for Red Reserve, but they have to continue to do it. Josh slowing down a little bit. Zero having a solid game. You still want Rated to step up. But here we go, Zero and Joe. Answer back. Still, a lot of nades are going to come in from those lower docks. You can see that's where Rise is spawning. So tough to get time, and Gunless gets into fire.
Oh, gets into fire and almost jumps around and snaps onto Zero. Josh not able to get the opening. Rise Nation still doing a great job holding here at Crane. Now, when you're spawning out like this, what's the best way to try and break this if you're
to get fire control, right? You can see that number 7, that's Josh starting to go that way, Rated. And again, this is what has worried me. You saw towards that barrel building that the gunfights were just going Rise's way.
they're certainly heating up, and behind that fire, the lead's starting to grow up to 35. And you get a ton of time here on Crane. That's something you can't allow if you're red. It's somewhere you can, try to clear out with grenades. Usually it's heavily contested, but it is all Rise Nation. They're looking to seal the deal here and bury Red Reserve in one best of 5.
Gunless on a 6-3 right now. He's in the call on a fighter pilot. May get caught out though. 2 players spawn behind him. Don't know if he's gonna expect that. He's gonna see that right now. Some kills coming in, but there's Looney. Can he find the second on the Joe? Nobody on the hill right now. Joe doing a great job staying alive.
A long gunfight comes Looney's way and almost a snap out to pick up another, but Josh with 2 kills shuts it down. You see a couple of streaks still on methods here. He wants to go ahead and invest this live bomb. He sees 2 up top. They're both about to get dropped. Nope, just gets raided, able to at least spread it up there that you can't tag 2. And by Joe getting inside, he's able to win a gunfight as well.
It's a much better hill from Red Reserve. They stabilized, they wasted a few streaks. This is where they got most of their time.
This is where they got like all their time.
All of their time between these 2 hills.
Between Statue and Main Street. And look, over half of the play clock gone. And there's not a whole lot of points in this one, Joe.
No, there definitely isn't. Josh needs to stay alive. No, he goes down. A little too impatient there. Joe tries to flood through the gates, and Rise Nation, they have control. Look where Red Reserve is spawning.
What just went wrong for Red? How does Rise break so easily there, Joe?
I mean, it was just one-on-one gunfights. Red Reserve, they weren't in position, but look at this. Joe comes in, able to find 2. There's raided with the pinch. A great response once again from Red.
And TJ falls to the Red Reserve sandwich there as he's trapped in lights, and now, as quickly as Red lost it, they've gained it back, and they've forced a glide bomb now out of Rise Nation.
Yeah, 0 as well. Can he find the 3rd? He can.
Wow. 0, 3 big kills to make sure that glide bomb doesn't lead to another break. And Red Reserve, once down and out of this one, like you maybe thought the game 2 search and destroy, right back into this 0.
That's a tough shot, but you gotta finish that one off there.
He hit just about every section of docks there.
Now Red Reserve, you stabilized, you did a good job getting back into this game, but this is where Rise Nation set themselves apart. This is a big break. A couple of kills going Red's way. Make it 3. Wow. Huge break out of Red Reserve.
They're in. TJ's still here, but he's tagged up and has to back up.
Joe can make the play here.
There goes. Here's the flank. He doesn't even need to. He doesn't even need to. We'll be able to pick up 1, but his teammates kill the rest of them. And we've got a lead now for Red Reserve. Back in control here of game 4. Viciously fighting to get to game 5 and streaks now for Joe as well. You gotta say they're a resilient bunch. They've done it all through a loser's bracket, and they're showing it in this series.
That's a big 25 seconds right there. Rise Nation gets back in. Really, that starts with Joe going down top of that barrel building, but here's Joe once again making. Can he find the 3rd? Almost takes down Looney. But Red Reserve, they need to hold this setup. You can see Rise Nation, they spawn 1 out. That's Josh. Big kill out of Joe. Joe is toughed up big time, 25 and 19.
Trying to peek out, win another one. Hip fire connects. Gunless will drop. You got the barrel spawn. And you can start to take over here. Maybe the wall bang there. Nope. TJ able to dip out to the edge.
Look at the push that Rise is going for. They're going for the back. It's all on Josh. It's going to start with him. It's a big gunfight. They're contesting at the front as well. Big kills out of 0. He's at 30. Great job by Raiden as well.
There's the clear for Red. All 4 drop for Rise, and you've got some free time now. They're soaking it up right now. 20-point advantage now for Red.
They're spawning them out as well. You can see two Rise players spawn towards the back. But that's a big 20 seconds for Rise Nation.
Yeah, Joe thinks about trying to contest, but unfortunately he's pinched there from a player, Gunless from water. These are crucial fights now in fire as everybody trying to get set up in Crane. Now remember, this is where Rise Nation had a hell of a hold. Red wasn't able to do much of anything. Can TJ make the play to set up early for Rise? Not able to do it. Raiden finds him. Josh spots Gunless. There's a 3-man hit though happening from Useless. They're spawning close.
Maybe you call it a streak here if you're Red Reserve. You have those streaks on Joe. Josh gonna get taken out. When he takes down 1. But again, it's so tough. Those nades come in. And Rise, they have the setup they want that we saw earlier.
Streaks though, like you said, this is where you gotta invest in if you're Red Reserve. Gonna come in, Methods drops, TJ drops. They're still spawning close. So they're going to be able to hustle right back over to the hard point. And Douglas is going to be pinching from the opposite side as well. But Rated with 2 kills, trying to go big, but it's Rise Nation in the hard point. We've had what seems like 10 lead changes in the past 2 hard points.
This hill is just so ridiculous with those spawns down low and those nades come in.
Play clock could come into effect as well, just over a minute on that. Every time there isn't someone to the hard point, every time it's contested, a second ticks off that clock. Methods, fighter pilot in. He sees the whole world. Able to get 2 and make the call out, so they know there's 1 in barrels, they know there's 1 in fire. TJ just dancing top in.
But here's the thing if you're Red Reserve, these have been a couple of hills that have really changed things around. They're gonna get TJ Halley off this hill, but the kills go Rise's way. They're gonna get right back on it. You can't allow them to get too much off this one. Joe, 35 and 25. A big game from him.
Joe trying to get back in, but as he gets dropped, it's the swarm of Rise Nation. They've got 4 players basically top 8. As Gunless able to pick up a couple. Now can they take the advantage here and flood this to the back? A swift no. His Red Reserve will find the kills, and they need one hell of a hold here on Main Street to get back into this game.
Yeah, but look at number 3, that's Looney. Looney's gonna spawn Gunless on him. This is a 2-2 pinch, so big kills come down here in the back. Zero is able to find 1. There we are. Great read from Josh as well. Just to stay alive. Big gunfight's going down. A big one for Rated. Joe with another. Now look where Rise is spawning too. That's so difficult when you spawn towards that lower water, especially the opposite side of the map.
Can Rise break here? Can Rise break? Josh doing what he can to hold. Kills 1 and backs up Methods for a moment. They're still in the hard point. About to eclipse that 200-point mark on the trade there. Yes, Joe. 2 more to his game. Wrapping back to help Zero as well.
Just 1 player left.
He's got to get his out.
TJ to make a play. Don't allow him to make a play.
TJ gets 2, and these are crucial seconds. He's inside with 20 seconds remaining. He'll get picked very quickly. But again, every second on that play clock, you still have to keep an eye on it. Red Reserve.
They need this break.
It's just about even after this hard point.
It's a big kill by Joe once again. He needs some help in the hill. Don't overpeak, Zero. Just contest that time. As you said, 8-second difference right now. That play clock, 30 seconds. Look at it, Clint.
It's ticking. And you know how heavily this can be contested. Red Reserve have got to break on through. They can't contest very long. They've got to win the gunfights. Gunless starting to push through. He wins that. That's going to open up the backside. There's 1 more remaining here, and he's not going to win it. Joe yet again goes big as he picks up 2. But again, they can't contest.
I like that play. They get out of it. They know they need 20 seconds. They're going to get out of that hill. These are big gunfights going down. Rise Nation, they just might do it here.
Oh. Rise Nation looking to ice the game. Red spawning out. Kills for Gunless. 50 bomb. On the board. 44 on the other side for Joe. But Rise Nation up 5 seconds away from taking this grand final. The final kicks out. The top to Division A, the winners here in Atlanta. Incredible. The trophy is hoisted. There you have it. Rise Nation are the CWL Atlanta champions.
Win mean to you?
You know, coming back to Atlanta, I won here for my first time ever, and getting to win here again is an amazing feeling.
How do you plan to celebrate?
Not really sure, but I'm happy we won, and I'm excited.
Do you have anything final to say to your fans and supporters out there?
not just my fans and my supporters, just everyone that came out and supported, whether you rooted for us or rooted against us, any team you supported, man. Thanks for coming out. It was fun playing in front of you guys. Hope to see you guys next time.
All right, well now it is time to announce the Astro Gaming MVP methods.
That should have been PJ. PJ should have got that.
Ladies and gentlemen, your CWL Atlanta champions, Rise Nation!
Rise Nation, your CWL Atlanta champions. The United couldn't defend the throne, but Gunless sure could. And what a performance from him there in that final map. A 50 bomb of epic proportion to secure the championship for Rise Nation. Then to the desk for the final time here in Atlanta with the wonderful Rambo, we got Miles and Revan to break down the epic grand final. And as I said, truly unbelievable scenes from that man on your screen right there. Gunless, but congratulations of course to our Astro Gaming MVP Methods, who consistently throughout this tournament, including the final as well, put up massive numbers. But as I said, it's time to break down that series, and Revan, I'll start with you. The Valkyrie hardpoint, it goes Rise's way straight off the bat, and it was a convincing one, almost set the tone immediately for the grand final.
Speaking of setting the tone, it was Gunless doing it early on, just bringing the aggression right to the table, wasting no time at all, just ramping up the pace of the game. And then once Gunless was able to open up the lanes, it was Methods to follow up his impressive performance. And you know, Rise Nation, they started off strong, despite waiting around and watching Red Reserve battle their way through the losers bracket. They waste no time getting the job done.
I think one of the key things you noted, Ray, was more, yes, of course, Gunless had those epic moments, but so did everyone on Rise, didn't they? They all had those individual moments in that game which helped them win that one.
It was the most complete team this event, no doubt in my mind, and they won and it showed. Like, it was just insane. Like, none of them really seem to have these bad moments, to be fair. Like, sometimes you have teams that have a player that kind of slacks. All four of them were on.
They fall through that bracket.
That kind of put up these numbers here and there. But yeah, no, it just looked like fundamentally they were playing games so right that they could have got outslayed. It's almost like what we saw TK earlier this year. They were winning maps while getting outslayed, whatever. But basically, Rise did the same thing, but they were outslaying. So it's like, how are you supposed to beat?
It's almost impossible. But of course, here at the highlight package files from map 1, and you can see Rise Nation just start to pull away. Of course, final score 250 to 130.
I mean, look, this Cinderella story here was a Red Reserve. They came all the way through the lower bracket and they made it to the grand final. And like, we want that to be the story. We want them to win. But this is real life, man. Fairy tales don't exist. This is reality hitting Red hard in the face. And this first map for me was, I'm not frightening because I was like, oh, Red Reserve are out of this. This is done. It's going to be a 3-0, and we've finished it.
Yeah, it was a little worrying, I'm not going to lie, for a look at the European fans out there. But then, of course, map 2, the St. Marie du Mans Search and Destroy. This one was just, one that didn't really make any sense.